This is our paranormal podcast because this is our paranormal community, and we want to support you here on RU Media Network. We are proud to be sponsored by the Haunted Hinsdale House in Hinsdale, New York. Here are your hosts, Brian Mersal and Sean Gilmore.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
How are you? How's everyone doing tonight? I hope everyone's having a great Wednesday night. Welcome to our paranormal podcast. We have an awesome guest tonight, of course, Daniel Klaes. How's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing good.
Doing good. I gotta share this.
Yes. I try to multitask and share as I talk, and
yeah,
sometimes I do a pretty good job at it. Sometimes not so much.
Yeah, but it's good. It's hard to fake it sometimes, you know. Like everybody can see your eyes going down. So
right. So true. So, man, I hope everyone had a good week. It's been interesting for me. I don't know if anyone does like the TikTok thing, but I just recently hit 1,000 followers on TikTok.
Oh, great! You can go live.
Exactly. Yes, I'm really excited to do that. I did my first live and I made 6 cents.
I've done it a couple times, but it's for me like just to get like 10 people in there. It's like, man, I can get 50 on Facebook or whatever.
I know. I know. I wish there was a way.
Still cool that you made 6 cents more than you had, right?
Right. I wish there was a way to do like Facebook and TikTok live at the same time. Maybe we could. We probably need some sort of program that I don't want anything to do with. There's the program that we used to use before we got onto StreamYard. I don't even like to say the name. It's like the program that shall not be named.
Okay. I probably know the program you're talking about, but
you probably do. And actually, Brian uses it for his real ghost hunters playing scary games Saturdays. Yep, I saw him using that.
I don't use it to stream, but I use it to record, and I don't have any issues.
Yeah, so. I just didn't. It was just a big pain, and I always had problems. And it was probably my fault. And it was probably user error, but still.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're like diving into it every day and seeing the updates that they have and what works better. I mean, it is what it is, So
yeah, with StreamYard, I just click on some buttons and we're ready to go.
Perfect.
I like it. Right. It's easy, simple. I'm not very techie, so it keeps it simple for me.
Yeah, StreamYard's all right.
Yeah, I like it. So let's see here real quick. History and headlines. How's it going? That is Z, right?
Dr. Czar. Yep.
Dr. Z. Holly Miner.
Hi, Holly.
Yes.
Hi, Aaron.
Aaron's back. Lily. Hi, Lily.
Say Lily's last name for me. Do it right.
Yeah, come on.
Lily can send you.
Bhattacharya. Is that right? Bhattacharya? I'm sorry if I said it wrong. I do that a lot at work. I say a lot of names that I probably have no business trying to pronounce. But, I mean, nothing but respect for you, Lily. That's a pretty name.
It is. Definitely is.
And Thomas, Edward, how's it going? This is Dan the Man. We have a lot to talk about, Dan. You are a busy guy. You have so much going on. Like, do you even have a free weekend coming up?
No, and it's amazing. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about because all that time that we had from March through the summer. I mean, I started making myself busy in June, July, and now everything's coming to fruition,
Yeah. I mean, with these days, with COVID and everything, it's pretty amazing. Actually, no, that's really amazing. I mean, even like this weekend, you have that public ghost hunt, right?
Yeah, I'm excited about that. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of good people there. My good friend John Ward, ex-co-host John Ward,
Yeah.
he'll be there with his team, Dead Republic. And what was the name of that? That's a castle.
Oh, it's Wilson Castle. It's in Vermont, right across. It's kind of like an hour away from like Lake George, New York. So it's close to Albany, if you're putting it into perspective, but it's right over the border into Vermont.
Wow.
But it looks, I mean, the place looks amazing. It's been on my bucket list, and it's going to be fun. It's like a fundraiser for the castle too. So all the proceeds are going to the castle, and me, whenever there's an event of something that we can try to help raise funds for a location, if I can be there, I'll be there. And not to mention the amazing people that are going to be there. I know some of the people that bought tickets that are going, and it's gonna be interesting night with all of us.
And you guys actually all came together and helped a big supporter in the paranormal community to go from Illinois. That's Tim Schoon, right?
Yeah. I was watching the show the Booze Show, and Tim is, I met him in Iowa. I met him a couple times, and he just a generally good dude, just doesn't have the doesn't have the means to do a lot of expensive things, but he lives within his means, and he supported me. He bought my books, he asked questions, he always shared things that I was doing, and just a supporter of the paranormal. I would put him right up there. And I know they were having him on the show as the surprise, and they were asking him where his bucket lists were in the show, and I said, "Oh my God, this is so cool that they have him on the show. Like they're just like showing him some love, And he said, he would love to go to Wilson Castle with all of us, and that would be something that he would love to do. And I'm like, I'm all in for pitching in. I'll pitch in to get your plane ticket, And then everybody just started pitching in, in the chat and the show hosts. And by the end of the night, we had everything taken care of, and he has his plane ticket and his accommodations and transfers and place to stay, and has nothing to worry about. And he's going to be able to meet us all, hang out with us all, and investigate with us all night.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. I know he's been posting about it for so long. He's so excited.
Oh,
it's so cool
excited
to do that. That's gotta feel good. I mean, just to see his excitement. I know whenever I gift something to somebody and you see that genuine excitement and that love, like that's like the best part, So that's really cool. You guys are able to do that, especially to a guy like him.
And it shows. I mean, what you can really accomplish when you put your heads together. If everybody gave $1 for something, and there was a couple hundred people that did it, we'd be able to accomplish a lot for a lot of people that need things in this world. Exactly. So that was a good para-unity type thing to do with everybody that was in the chat and on the show. And there's people that aren't going that are helping this guy go. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
that's really cool. And I only saw photos, and so it's to go to locations that are that far away from me. It's hard, and it's mostly hard just because with the family and everything, and going away for days at a time. That's always takes a lot of planning, and it's so I won't be able to go this time, but I know. I would have liked to have. That place looks awesome. Maybe one day I'll be able to go there and help support that location. But first,
you have to make like a 2-part trip. Like maybe stop somewhere halfway in between, investigate, and then drive because it's probably about another 5.5 hours from Hinsdale. So I mean, wherever your midpoint is, so you're not doing it all in one shebang. All that driving, unless you flew, which plane tickets are really cheap right now. If you plan ahead, not many people are flying. So
Yeah, it'd be interesting to fly right now. I wonder what that's like. I don't know.
It's different because they have seats that are sectioned off that nobody can sit in. So you ever fly and you're like in those row of three, and you're always like, man, I wish there was nobody sitting in this middle seat. That's the way it is now. No, they don't fill it. So you actually get that extra room. So it's like flying, mid class everywhere that you go, even if you get regular plane tickets. So because they have
So you flown?
Oh yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I flew to Detroit, and I'll be flying to Cincinnati and Indianapolis. I'll be flying to Boston within the next few weeks. I'll be doing a lot of flying in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have some really big events coming up. Let's see. I believe is
Yes.
that's going to be awesome. This
Yeah.
is you guys are going to go and revisit and kind of investigate what was done, or tell us about this event.
So this is kind of Nick's been going to the Conjuring House now for a long time, and recently digging in to try to give Corey answers. Corey's the owner of the house now. He brought his guy, the guy that he used on Paranormal Lockdown on the Monroe House episode where they found those bones. And there's always been rumors on the property that there is possible bodies on the property. They found that graveyard in the back of the forest, and he had this guy out, and he had a YouTuber out there they were videoing the whole thing, and then they ended up finding burial shafts on the property right outside the house. So Nick's idea is to do a seance. They're going to have a priest there. They're going to have a witch there. I'm going to be there. There's going to be a bunch of cool people that are going to be participating in this investigation and seance to try to get some answers. It's 47 years to the day that Ed and Lorraine Warren performed their seance there.
Jeez.
We're going to be doing a investigation live from 6 to 9. And then at midnight, we're going to go on with the seance. And then that's going to go for as long as we need.
Has it really coming up on 47 years?
47 years.
That's kind of insane. Like, a lot of people got introduced to them just by the movies, but boy, they've been doing it for, they did it way back in the day.
Yeah,
That's
they were
crazy.
the pioneers, the pioneers of it.
Yeah,
That's
really
crazy to think about.
Yeah,
a lot of what we do today is based on what they learned and experienced.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, I tell everyone, if you ever get like that free book from Audible, there's the Demonologist, which is like their story or whatever. Boy, this is the perfect month. If you're looking to just listen to something and drive during the month of October, listen to the crazy stuff about how they get, contracted by the army and all the different houses and all the different crazy stuff that's just in that book, let alone everything else they can't tell you.
Right.
No, that's if anyone needs validation. I mean, when the army's calling them in, I don't know how much more you need that something's actually going on here. So, but that's so cool. 47 years.
Yeah.
You get
So
to go and investigate what they did. 47 years. You get to
Yeah.
celebrate that anniversary. That is so cool.
yeah, and I was just thrown on it, like a week or so ago. I wasn't expecting to be part of that, and when he asked me, I was just like flabbergasted. I'm like, I'll clear my schedule. Yeah, absolutely. That's like what an opportunity to be able to be there and experience that. So
Right, and what's
especially now with the finding of the bodies, I mean, it just even makes it more eerie.
Right, and it's such a great group of people too. It looks like. I mean, so how can we tune into that?
So it's just there's a show pass link. Do you have that?
I don't.
I can get it for you. It's like $5. So from the 29th into the 31st for 3 days, you'll be able to view the live cameras that are there at the facility. At 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, we'll be doing a live session on the 30th. And then at midnight, you'll get to be part of the seance as well. So,
Wow.
And then I know I just talked to Nick today. We are going to be announcing contest on his page soon. So everybody stay tuned to Nick's page, where he's going to draw 10 people. And he's going to actually bring them on immediately following the seance to a Zoom meeting, a private Zoom meeting, that they can actually be at the table asking questions with us. And it's going to be pretty awesome for those 10 people that are picked. But the contest will be announced on his page shortly, probably like next week.
That is awesome.
That is awesome.
I'm getting the link here now. So, man, is that the whole link? I think I copied the wrong thing.
Show pass, is that the one that you got?
I tried to do a copy link thing from Facebook, and it ended up with here, I'll just pull it up from here. There.
Got it?
I've got it here.
Cool. All right.
So, I'll put it right here in the comments for everybody.
Yeah, and it's also, if you're friends with me or you're a fan of Nick, you can go right onto his page too, and you'll be able to find the links on his posts. It's pretty easy to find.
Oh, Madison Smith is on. Hey,
what's up, Madison?
How's it
I
going?
miss her.
I heard that she had an awesome event at the Hinsdale House.
She was supposed to have an awesome event. We had to cancel it because of restrictions from state to state travel, that we rescheduled it. But it's a sold-out event nonetheless, and everybody that bought tickets did not return any of them. So we still have another sold-out event coming up in August with her at the Hinsdale House.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Congratulations for that.
It really sucked. I was so excited for her because they actually did. They had her up on the news in Buffalo. They did interviews with her. They had, it was pretty cool. I mean, the news. If you guys want to see that newspaper or the news article that Madison did, if you go to my website danielklaes.com, which I think you have scrolling across the bottom there,
I do.
I actually have a page for Madison on my page. So there'll be a page for Madison Smith, and then there'll be some merch that she has and some of her accomplishments, and then the link for that news interview that she did in Buffalo for the event is up there too. We got permission to post that for her. So I'm proud of her. I met her at her first investigation, and now look at her on the cover of the Haunted magazine. And I've never been on the cover of Haunted magazine. She's outpacing us all.
Right? Right? It's awesome. And she was actually a guest on the show here almost a year ago now. She needs to come back on. I think it was right before the event, or at least pretty close to it. She's just incredible. I have a daughter that is really close to her age, and it's just so cool to see her. I know that my daughter, who's her age, she's a scaredy cat. She has a box that she keeps for her sketching, and she didn't remember taking it down from her closet, and she came into her bedroom, and her box of all of her pencils and everything was on her bed. And she totally forgot that she did that. And she got so scared. She was home alone right at the end of that part. She got so scared that when we got home, she was sitting outside on the front porch. She didn't want to go back in the house. So, I mean, for someone her age to do that is just, it's incredible to face your fears and investigate the way that we do as grown adults is extremely impressive to me. And it's so fascinating. So,
as Holly said in the chat, she's mature, but beyond her means. She's one of the most mature investigators. That reminds me of a story of my sister too. The episode of My Paranormal Nightmare that I did on Travel Channel. It's cool because you get to actually tell other stories of your life. Everybody knows me for the Hinsdale House, and it's basically some other stuff. But I mean, book and stuff like that. But it's cool to be able to tell other stories of things that have happened in my life. And that was a situation where we had poltergeist activity happening in our house, and nothing malicious, you know. It ended up, in my recollection, being two children's spirits. But we would come home and we'd have crayon drawings on the ceiling, and you know, with your daughter thinking she had stuff moved. My sister's stuffed animals, we'd come home and they were moved from her bed into the middle of the floor, stuff like that. So it was spooky. But our parents always told us people were pulling pranks on us and stuff. So kind of kept it into perspective for us, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in a house as a teenager with things like that going on. So actually, there's a little furry guy right there, the little one next to the dog. He has a light sensor on him, and when all the lights are off in the middle of the night, there's no lights, no anything. He would just start. He makes this really weird, like beeping, like noise. It would just out of nowhere just start going off, and he'd be covered in blankets and start going off. We'd have him hidden in the closet, like whatever was in this house, like it knew that it scared us, so it would mess with that thing. And I was at my mom's house a couple months ago, and I found that thing. I was like, yes, and I tried to plug it in. I thought it would be so cool to like try and implement like that in an investigation. It doesn't work.
Oh,
I need to find
so
somebody.
now if it goes off,
now, oh, that'd be freaky.
I mean, I know he's got a lot on his plate, but I know Jeff is really good with that stuff, you know, like all the electronical stuff, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've thought about maybe messaging Jeff or even Josh Bender, a couple different people, but I don't know really when the right time is to kind of ask for that kind of favor, even if I pay them for their time. It's just like there's so much going on. It's so cool with the paranormal community, with everything that people are still keeping busy. And everything. So I know it's so cool to see Jeff Fence though. He made that really cool box from the wood from the outside of the Hinsdale House.
Yeah, he made a couple of them actually. He ended up actually making me 3, and I gave one to Rosa, who's one of my biggest supporters of that house. You know, probably the top supporter of that house. Oh, what's up, Kyle? So I ended up giving her one, but he themed them by different findings of the house, like the one with the bullheads that we found in the walls. You know, when we were redoing the bathroom, there was a cool box that he made with etchings of the bull. And then my favorite one is the box with the house wood, you know, made from the house, the siding. But they're all made from Hinsdale House wood. They're just this box wouldn't have happened because he was outside, and I had taken some of the lath, you know, from the old houses with the plaster on it and stuff, and we had it thrown in the fireplace, and he looked at it and saw something. He looked at that and said, "Do you mind if I take that?" I'm like, "Okay," but I just thought of it as kindling, you know.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, he's got this beautiful box made from the lathe and the siding of the house. Looks like a ghost on the outside. It's really cool.
It is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, he's very, very appreciative. He's done a lot for me and a lot for the house, you know, as far as his research, coming there and researching. And I mean, he's the one that captured that picture of the Puckwudgie, you know. So, yeah, he made Madison a box too, huh? Yep.
Oh, Jeff, and the thing is about Jeff, he literally puts his soul, his heart, and his soul into his work, and I think that's what makes his boxes so special, because he puts so much into it. And those boxes, it's like he connects through spirit. It's almost like a mediumship that he gets when he uses these boxes. It's if you get the opportunity, anyone that's listening to kind of hang out with Jeff and to do an investigation with him and see him use his box, it's an experience for sure.
Yeah, the first time I ever met him was at Randolph County Infirmary, right? And it was the first time that I had ever met somebody else besides Nick that had a geo, you know. And I'm like, holy crap, 2 in the same room, because there's not a lot of them, mate. You know, George Brown doesn't make a lot of those. And we started just putting our heads together and come up with these different plans of, he's going to go to the 2nd floor, I'm going to the 1st floor. We each had like a set of words that we were going to say and tell the spirits to go tell the Jeff upstairs and see if it came through the box. And, you know, it was just like an amazing night of experimenting with our 2 boxes that we had that George Brown made. And it worked out really well. And from that point on, you know, it was like anytime Jeff needed anything from me, it was like, yeah, absolutely, come on down. That was before he was making boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That was really cool. Yeah, I love the work that Jeff does, and just how much. I mean, if you go to any location that he's done work on, he puts his everything into it, and the history, preserving that history. It's like that it becomes a part of him, and it's just it's so cool.
I think it would be cool if, I mean, not to say, but I think it would be cool if you put together a show and brought on people that own Jeff Fent boxes just to talk about them and show them. Because
can we patent that idea so no one else steals that idea? People like
you were at MadCon, and I was like in awe because we were able to actually line up, I think, like 8 different boxes that he made in a row. I'm like, oh my god, this is just it's like when you have like special inserts in trading cards and they get shipped all over the world. So the chances of those cards ever being together again are slim to none. But to be able to see that many of them that he's created on one table, it was cool. It was just amazing, you know.
Yeah.
That actually, I saw the picture of that, and that's really cool. And I mean, it's got to feel. I mean, it's just to have that kind of impact on the community as he's had is incredible. I wish I could get my hands on a Jeff Fent box. I had an opportunity. I just didn't have the cash in hand at the time. Now I'm really kicking myself for not making it happen.
But the thing is with Jeff, he's like all things. I mean, like he's kind of got that karma, kind of like that laid back kind of, you know, what's supposed to happen is going to happen. If I'm supposed to make a box, you'll have it. It'll happen when it's supposed to, and you just kind of have to have patience, you know. I mean, if you're really due to have one, it'll happen at some point, you know. There's just it can't be. I hate seeing pressure on him, you know. Like I hate seeing, because so many people want one, and it's gotta be hard to be able to like live your life and know that 1,000 people want you to make a box tomorrow. You know, it's like
to everybody.
Right.
So he's got to feel the passion and love for the project, and when he does, he makes magic happen, and it's the outcome is amazing.
Ooh, Darren Smith, he just finished our jail box out of wood. He took out of pocket door frame that he finished. Oh,
if only that box could talk, right? Only that wood could talk.
I think that Jeff was the only way to make it talk.
Yeah.
Oh, Madison. Oh, Jeff, if you're watching, sounds like an invitation to me.
I know he was planning on coming to the last one that she was going to be at, so maybe he'll be able to make do and come in August. We'll see.
That's awesome. And let's see. The next event that I have a poster for, you just have so much going on, is this one.
Yes.
Morning Draw. That's so cool. At the Ashmore Estates.
Yes, that's going to be awesome. It's I think there's still a couple tickets left for it. They're keeping the numbers down for this one, so it's going to be really intimate. You know, normally they'll sell like 120 tickets, and I think they're only selling 50%. So I think there's only like 2 or 3 tickets left for it.
That's awesome. So guys, go snatch up those tickets while you can.
Yeah, for an intimate evening.
All right, I flashed this book real quick. This is Dan's first book. Yeah, I said first book. He's got a second book coming out.
Yep.
There.
This one I did a collaboration with Angel Ray. She's awesome. She's come to the house so many times, and she was talking to me about writing about her, you know, things that have happened to her while she stayed at the house. And I said, because I was looking for inspiration to finish my second and third, and I actually have 2 more books on the way too. But that collaboration with her, I wanted to have a book where people told their experiences, not coming from me, but coming from the horse's mouth, you know, the people that have actually spent time at the house. That's why I actually have people write in the book so I can see what their experiences are. And I may be using some of those experiences in my new book, you know, telling people stories and it's more than just me. That's what the kind of the point I want to make. It's everybody that goes there experiences something for the most part. I mean, there's times where it doesn't happen. That's paranormal, but
Right.
it's going to be a very interesting book. I'm updating some of the history from the first book that I had that I wrote, and giving a lot of actual experiences in the house, a lot of updates that we've done to the house as far as structural and the property and the land, things that we found. I mean, it's going to tell a whole lot.
I mean, that's incredible. I mean, the amount of work that you've put into the house. I know when I was there, I had a crazy experience. Actually, I had a couple crazy experiences that I'll never forget. First of all, I'm going to say there's probably about 4 that I had. First, I had to go out to the car and grab my backpack. I always keep my stuff in my backpack. Brian knows my backpack. I keep my sage in there, my holy water in there. I keep all my stuff, all my important stuff, my snacks. I need my backpack. So I went out to my car. I got my backpack, and I felt something like behind me. You know that feeling when something's just like rushing you from behind? So I just I didn't run.
No, tell me about it. So you've been rushed from behind?
Oh my God. Nice. Yeah,
I had this. Sorry.
I opened that door wide open. Oh, and I just opened another door. All right.
Let's just get back to the backpack.
So because we'll go down. We don't want to go down. Yeah. I can't even say what I want now. Okay. So anyways.
We won't interrupt anymore. Go ahead. The backpack.
Okay.
We rushed from behind. Okay.
Okay, so I just felt like there was a presence behind me. It was coming up quickly. So I quickly walked into the house, and I closed the door behind me. And as soon as the door latch shut, and I let go of the doorknob, there was a bang on the door.
Wow.
Like something ran up to the door and pounded on it. And then shortly after that, I got the biggest REM pod hit I've ever gotten. I haven't gotten one as big as I did there since. It was on the coffee table in the living room. And then there was that apparition in the window, which we tried to recreate and we couldn't.
That was really interesting. That was really interesting. I mean, I was there, at least an hour, maybe. And you guys, I know, stayed even longer trying to figure out if you could recreate that somehow in the window. And it's like every angle you try, there was no way.
We tried. I mean, we thought at first maybe it was like the clouds or something. We couldn't recreate it. We even tried doing it again at night.
Now this episode's still up on YouTube for people to watch. Oh.
It is Ectovision Paranormal. Ectovision, all one word, Paranormal, and you can see the Hinsdale House. It is actually the last documentary that we did as Ectovision, and so it's a really special one.
I was happy too because I courted that. I wanted Ectovision. I wanted you guys there because I really liked the work that you guys did on your shows that you put together. I mean, it was very thorough, and you guys all did really good. You still do. You all do a good job in your own right. Everything that you're doing in life. So I mean, even though you're not the team anymore, you're all doing good stuff.
Maybe one day we can do like a anniversary type thing.
Maybe.
I'm gonna hit up Mr. Eric McGill, who is a boss here in RU Media. I don't know. He's a busy guy though, so we'll have to see. But
I'm so excited! I got his autograph now on my wall.
Nice. On the wall of the Hinsdale House?
No, in my office.
Oh, nice. Okay, because I know you have that section of the Hinsdale House where you have signature.
Yeah, right now I have that all down though because we had to recreate the house in a way that looked very 1970s. Okay. So I actually had to take all the pictures down, and we have what do you call that stuff that looks like wall? It's like tape.
Okay.
Anyways, but we have that all up on the door frames and covering up everybody's autographs and stuff like that because of the filming that the show that's going to be coming out of the first of the year that we filmed there called Dead Remains. It's based on the novel or the Clara Miller book Echoes of a Haunting.
Ooh.
And actually telling her story the right way, also adding in a little touch of investigating, but not like paranormal investigating, folklore investigating. So we're investigating the pond, we're investigating the grounds, We're looking to uncover some truth to some of that folklore, so that we may be able to give Clara some answers as to what may have happened to her family while she was there. And we're actually going back to Oregon to visit her in November to wrap up the filming for the show, and that'll be out hopefully in the first of the year. It's going to be called Dead Remains.
Wow, that is really cool. I'll tell you what, I had a crazy experience outside.
Did you?
Where I saw that thing with it was like a humanoid creature, and he had antlers and a snout and big black eyes. It was crouched down on the trail going up the hill. I know I've told you about that.
Yeah.
It was like kind of like a pugwudgie, but like bigger, a lot bigger, like more human.
Well, I think it can like a shapeshifter kind of. I think if you look at the where it spans on the trees, I mean, it could be bigger and longer than we actually think, so it's possible.
I guess I don't know too much about pugwudgie. But maybe I always thought the pugwudgies were like little. But if it could, then it definitely would be like a larger. I mean, it looked like a man with a mask and antlers. If I were to try and explain it, but the way that it kind of like shifted away, it was crazy. Really weird. Yes, there are elementals.
Eugene, Oregon. Somebody asked where in Oregon I'll be.
Yes, that was Vicky.
Mm-hmm.
Digging deeper, being rushed behind. All right, so no, I'm sorry.
And Oregon's a state that I can actually fly to without getting in trouble. It's so nice.
I haven't been to Oregon. I've been to the West Coast many times, but I haven't been to Oregon.
It's beautiful.
I need to make that trip.
The untouched forestry when you're driving through, it's just so beautiful there. It's like going into a different world. Beautiful, beautiful state.
I mean, I've been to Northern California and all up in there. It's all those woods, and I could only imagine. And
the air even feels different. Tastes like it just seems like it's fresh. Like I don't know, just a whole different feeling when you're there.
So, just so people can kind of have an idea, is this what the Hinsdale House looked like when you first bought it?
Yes, that's how the house was when it first started the renovation process.
That is, I mean, that's insane, because then you did some work. That's what it looks like now.
A little bit of work, huh?
Before that, I meant to show that one next.
That's the next one, but then we just redid the porch, so it looks like it did in the 1950s. Now the porch is enclosed like it was originally, and it actually retains a lot of heat. So like if you that was like one of my big things. So you open the door, and people are always opening the door to bring in their equipment, and then all that hot air just runs out the kitchen. So now at least it'll be on the porch, and actually it'll be a nice storage area for equipment instead of having it all in the house, because it's not going to be no elements can get in there. Then you can lock the door.
I remember with Ectovision, we first originally wanted to put everything in that front area, but we ended up having to move it in because of the elements. And so it's really nice. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. I mean,
yeah,
it's now a beautiful house. You can see the columns in the front of the house here. I mean, you can see they're brown there, the columns that I'm talking about. I mean,
but it was originally white. It was a beautiful white house originally when it was built.
Oh, that's nice. I was going to ask you what made you choose the color white if it was yellow, but okay, that makes sense.
It was painted at some point that color.
I mean, that's just like that right there is just scary.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely had that fear factor when you first started going there. Not to mention that you could have been chased by the bees and black mold all throughout the kitchen. I mean, it was in pretty rough shape.
Right.
So how did you even get involved in the Hinsdale House?
I mean, I started going there just as an investigator. I went with my team. My teammate had booked the house, and we were going up in December, and I really didn't know too much about it, but the house spoke to me. The house, it just, I don't know, things, when you go to a location and you sit there with your equipment sometimes, and you're hoping that something may happen, or you might get an EVP, or your K2 meter might go off, or you're hoping. You sit there for hours. But when you go to the Hinsdale House, it was like I didn't have to explain how my equipment worked. It was just like they were trying to tell me something. You know, they wanted their voices to be heard, and that's why I'm so excited about the pushing forward with the spirit boxes and different type of portal technology, to be able to actually have a conversation live and understand maybe who it is or what is there, that maybe needs our help or doesn't need our help. Maybe they don't want to leave. But I definitely feel like there's a dark, heavy energy there, but it seems as though it's changing, as we keep bringing positiveness into the house and positive to the land and the property. It feels different than when I first bought it. It really does. People are still having the experiences, but you're not hearing about the negative ones so much anymore. Every now and then you will, but sometimes you bring what energy is around you. So
you investigated there, but how did you make the jump from I investigated there, it spoke to me?
Well, I had local friends were helping. They kind of had this board of people that were helping, and the guy that owned it lived in Canada, and it ended up just it was so hard for them to manage the location because a lot of the money was just getting funneled to Canada. Investigations, money that should be going back into the house is getting sent to Canada, and it was really hard to work from donations, and then he dropped off the face of the planet, and it just got even more frustrating because there was no communications. They had a show that wanted to come there, and the owner had to sign off on it, and he was nowhere to be found. So they actually had to throw their hands up in the air, and these were my friends, So I was there saying goodbye to the house. The doors were left open. We filmed a YouTube documentary there called Behind the Shadows, and then I had a most personal experience that I ever had in my life when we were there filming, and I knew that there was more that needed to be done to save the location, and everything just fell into place for me. I reached out to the bank. They were tearing it down. I mean, they had ripped all the electrical, the duct work, everything was ripped out of there, anything that was worth money. And they got a hold of me, and I said, I want it with the house on it. And they like, are you crazy? Do you understand how much work needs to be done to this place? I'm like, it's the deal breaker for me. If you knock this place down, then I'm not interested. And they sold it to me for a lot more than it was worth. We probably put 3 times what I paid for it into it so far, trying to fix the property up and the house. But I mean, majority of that comes from the support of everybody, so a lot of that has come from the investigations. My whole theory was too, is like, after I ended up buying it, okay, we saved it, and then I'm looking at this place. It's like, it's got a black mold. How can I have people come here? There's 500,000 honeybees in the wall. What if somebody's allergic to a bee? I'm going to get sued. It was scary. It's at first, the roof needed to be done, needed a complete tear off. So the paranormal community really came together through patching it up, roofing supplies. What would have cost me $10,000 at the time ended up costing me about $2,500 because so many people pitched in labor and all that stuff. So it was. So
that's how kind of you managed it.
Really good, that the people, we had like almost 60 people there at one point, painting, patching, cutting the lawn, doing scraping. I mean, it was just amazing.
Wow.
And it's been a process, getting to the point, because a lot of it was just patch jobs, at first, because you don't have the funds to get a house worth of siding or a new roof or stuff like that. So it was doing things slowly, making sure that it's staying solid, and then eventually saving the money to do it the right way. And that's kind of how we've been doing it. And then adding, we've been able to do projects that I didn't think I'd be able to do yet, like with the stairs in the back on the hill, the deck on the pond, the new driveway. I mean, we've just been able to, with everybody's support, continue to make this place be here. It's going to be here for 200 more years now, because of the fact that everybody supports the location. So
I'm really excited to get Brian out there. We're going out there in the spring with Mike Ricksecker, and I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm excited to see the trailer on the pond. I actually felt kind of drawn to an area that I wasn't able to get to, which now I can go to.
Yes.
And, so I'm really excited.
And in the spring, after Dead Remains comes out, it'll be a whole new ball of. Once you see this movie, dude, it's gonna throw you. It was like we're gonna be opening up a new puzzle. It's gonna be amazing. But yeah, we just graded the whole right side of the pond and the left side of the pond. So we just dropped 90 tons of dirt down. So we found the old barn foundation. We excavated part of that. That mysteriously burned down in the late 1960s. So I mean, we've been getting a lot of EVPs there as well.
Oh, I believe it. That is so cool. That's so cool. And then so you're going in and man, you're literally digging in deep, and that what better way to get connected, man? That's so cool. And you had mentioned a documentary that you had done called Behind the Shadows.
Yeah, so this was my team, Greater Western New York Paranormal Society, did 4 seasons of documenting all of everything that we did at locations back in the day, and it's been probably like 4 years since we've done anything. And I said, let's give other people a shot. Let's bring in some newbies. Let's bring in some of the old cast members from our team that were on the show, and do it 10 times better than we did it before. Because when we were doing it before, we just had these little cameras and we're following each other around and making a show out of it. But now that I've been able to be part of productions and see how things are done and be involved with that type of stuff, I'm like, let's do it right. So we had did the sound, and we had a gaffer, and we had makeup, and we did everything that not so much makeup. I don't want to make it sound like it was like that, but we had somebody that did costumes. We had some little reenactments that we did, and when we're telling the stories and digging into stories that aren't the typical ones that you would normally do. So when you go to for instance, we did the Hinsdale House first, a 2-part. It wasn't about the exorcism. It wasn't about the Dandy family. It was more or less about accounts that happened before the Dandy family lived there. I interviewed a neighbor that lived close by the house. I interviewed a family that lived in the house prior to the Dandy family that actually saw something that is unexplainable. And actually, Tom Edward, that's in the chat right now, he's part of the cast of that show. He's helped me out a lot at the house, and he's does a lot of tours there with his team and his girlfriend Kat, and they were kind of the perfect addition because they knew so much about the house to add them in to filming the show. And it was funny because Tom was also when we were filming Dead Remains, I said, well, come on down, you can be a PA, you can help out with the show, and he goes, well, what do I do? I go, whatever they tell you to do, just do it. And he came down, and then they ended up needing somebody to fill in to hold a boom mic when they were reenacting the exorcism. So he actually got to play the guy that was holding the boom mic in the living room when they were performing the exorcism in the reenactment. So it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I have some teasers that you sent me for Behind the Shadows. Do you mind if I share them now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. I think this is the first one.
This is also, just remember, guys, this is my first time directing, so be light on me. putting the stuff together. So
I'm sure it's going to be awesome. These teasers look really cool. All right, so here's the first one.
To be back in a spot where something attacked me where I couldn't defend myself is pretty scary for me.
Awesome.
That is so cool. Those I see that trail, and I just got the chills seeing that. When
I slid down that hill with my Geo one time, like I said, I'm putting steps in. I'm done. I didn't care, and I was like putting it on my credit card to do it because I was so sick of sliding up and down that hill when it was wet. Now it's completely safe for everybody,
Nice.
We even have little lights to go up the hill at night, so if you want to go up there at night, it's
really
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And you went all out. Here, I'm gonna play this this next one real short.
According to the people that come here, it's probably one of the most haunted locations in the United States of America.
We treat the spirits like we've known them for a while.
That is so cool. So where will we be able to find this?
This is both of the episodes streamed on VidiSpace already. So if you're already a member of VidiSpace, you can view those for free, part of your $5 a month. They will be on Amazon Prime, and just Amazon is behind on loading things right now, so I can't really give a definitive date as to when they will actually be up on Amazon Prime, but they will eventually for those people that have Prime. But I do employ them to everybody to go to vidi.space and sign up, because you got Nick's new show that's going to be up, Death Walker, coming out, 5 episodes on Halloween night. You got the Conjuring thing going to be up on there on the 30th for on Halloween weekend, on All Hallows Eve. And you got a lot of cool shows, a lot of independent folks that maybe wouldn't get a shot being on Travel Channel with their shows, but are able to showcase what they do on VidiSpace. And if people are diehard paranormal fans, horror fans, cryptozoology, you think of it, there's cool shows on there that you can watch, and it's rotating every time. It's $5 a month. And if you use the code word shadows, you get 50% off that for a year.
Oh,
I forgot about that, because she gave me a code word, shadows. That's my promo code for Behind the Shadows.
nice. Aaron Brannon says, Amazeballs. I haven't heard that since 1990 something.
That's all right.
Hey, no, I'm digging it. I like it.
Yeah.
So you get this house, and maybe you grab an LLC, and like you grab like a bunch of people around you to help with like the manpower. But like, where do you start first? Because there's the bees, the mold, the everything. Like, what do you prioritize first?
The roof. The roof had to be the low leaking of the house. That was the main thing for me. I knew that roof had to be done before winter, and I was focusing on saving as much money as I could to get that job done. And then with I did this thing. I threw it up there. I'm like, day of caring. If anybody wants to come down, these are the things that we're looking for. These are the types of materials that we need. Old paint, whatever. And that's when the 60 people showed up with roofing supplies, with nails, with paint.
Wow.
And it was just, we ended up having enough to get the roof done, the whole thing done. With the money that we had raised with the tours, we were able to get the new wood, and I kick myself too. Like I think about all this like repurposed wood stuff that everybody loves to collect things from haunted locations.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, because you could use that, chop it up, and put it in like containers.
Yeah, well, I do that now, and I've realized the errors in my way, and we use that for like fundraising.
Well, there's no guide to this, so
no, there really isn't. But I look back at all the stuff that we burned in the fire pit, like the cedar shingles and all that stuff, and I'm like, I kicked myself in the butt sometimes thinking about.
Think about how much the community has changed and what people go and what they collect. There is a point in time when people would be dead set against bringing a piece of such a haunted location home with them.
Yeah.
And so
there
now
still are.
There still are people like that. I know my wife wouldn't let me bring anything to my house, but now it's like a big thing to collect.
It's like keeping a memento from a location that you went to, except doing it in the right way. So
I have a shirt from when I was there that I purchased out of your trunk. It says I survived the Hinsdale House.
Yeah, that's one of.
I was actually wearing it. I went to go pick up some photos for my wife from one of those 1-hour photo places, and this lady asked me, the Hinsdale House, what is this? So we started talking about it, and by the time we were done talking, she was pretty much speechless, and she didn't want to talk anymore. She's like, okay, I need to get back to work, because we were talking, the spooky stuff. But I mean, how do you not? not everybody, people are like curious until they realize.
Yeah.
And that's why there's TV shows. So you can watch it. And you don't have to really be involved.
Absolutely.
Speaking of VidiSpace,
Yes.
that's really cool. I mean, it's only $5 a month if you think about it. I mean, how many people have multiple music accounts paying $5, $2, $3, $5 a month? So then for $5 a month, you get more paranormal stuff to watch, and you don't have to go searching. I mean, Amazon's great. I don't want to put down Amazon, but it kind of sucks to search Amazon sometimes. You're not always in the mood. So that's what's really cool about VidiSpace. You go and you can just pick something. It's going to be something.
If you go to the search bar and type in VidiSpace, all the shows that are available from VidiSpace platform that are on Amazon Prime will show up. Just a little.
Oh, okay.
Bit of information there. I tried it. Works good.
Go do a VidiSpace, but still get VidiSpace.
Yeah, I mean, and I realize times are tough right now, and if you can't, it's understandable. But hopefully, things will get better for everybody. They do offer like 15 free days to try it out. So even if you just want to check it out, you're not committed to anything. At least you can support and see what's going on with it.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, I have the teaser for Nick's new show.
Yeah, this is his new show, Death Walkers. It's going to drop on Halloween night, and it's going to be on VidiSpace to start off, and it'll end up going to Prime. So, but it's amazing. I've got to view the first 2 episodes, and it really kept me on the edge of my seat. I was excited when Paranormal Lockdown came out, but this show, he really pushes things farther, and he's comparing locations like in the same show, like
wow.
different. You guys you need to see it, but I'm excited for this show, and I'm excited that Nick's kind of just doing his own thing, and he's kind of not falling into the where he has to be overproduced, and
right.
And he's doing Nick, and he's doing it the right way, and I respect him for doing this way, and even though it's at a cost to us. He's still putting out amazing content, and his true fans will get to see it. So it's pretty awesome, and the show's amazing. It's going to be worth your while to watch it.
Yeah, let's check this out.
Yeah,
I should be able to go back. Here we go. Is that it?
No,
that's not it.
No, that is not it. What is the music video?
Why is it playing that?
I don't know. Sometimes if you let it play, it goes off the video that it was on to the next video. There you go. That's it.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all right.
I have never seen anything like this.
It's groundbreaking, scary, brilliant. Hats off to everybody involved.
He's exploring and questioning everything and talks about the different theories of what's actually going on. And it will intellectually stimulate you as well as perhaps frighten you too.
Death Walker is a breath of fresh air. Best footage ever documented at my haunted nightclub, Bobby Mackey's in Wilder, Kentucky.
It's really going to take paranormal to the next level.
It's a spiritual journey that is captivating and left me wanting more.
Brace yourselves, because the paranormal just got real.
And that's why I was playing Clutch.
And that's cool. That's actually the teaser with the reactions on it. That's the where they actually have people that he actually let preview the show and then asked for our reactions, and he kind of made that out of the some of the footage and just let people know how we felt about it from actually seeing it, some of the episodes. So
that's awesome. We lost Brian.
We did? Oh, where'd Brian go?
Where did Brian go? Uh-oh, Brian.
Maybe he'll call back in.
Oh, you said be right back in 3 minutes.
If you're out there, call back in, Brian.
That's funny. Maybe he's getting your questions ready.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he comes up with some of the best questions. So, man, with the hold on a second here. Sorry.
What's that?
There he is.
There, he's back. You guys just flip-flop now. Now I got to look on the other side of the screen.
He's got no sound, though.
Oh, I had a little dog emergency. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, Melvin's here.
What's up, Melvin?
Melvin, you're just in time. It's 9 o'clock. Is it a good time?
Okay.
Are you ready?
We're about to enter.
I think the real question is, real quick, is Dan ready?
I'm always ready.
All right, good.
Let me get my peanuts. Hold on.
All right.
I'm good.
All right. Are you ready, Brian?
Absolutely.
Here we go.
Welcome, everyone, into the abyss. We're going to have Dan go into the abyss here. 13 fast-fire questions about the paranormal. We'll asterisk there. Maybe it's not always about the paranormal. Looks like we'll have to find out. All right. Dan, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Let me see if I can pop. All right, Dan. Let's rock and roll. Ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. 13 questions, starting with number 1. What got you first involved in the paranormal?
Living in a childhood home that was haunted. You know, it was like, I always say it's my first Scooby-Doo episode, because I actually ended up going back and buying that home. And I actually told that story on My Paranormal Nightmare, which you can actually watch right now on Travel Channel. But yeah, I mean, I got interested in it. I ended up researching the house, and then I ended up getting on a team, putting a team together to start exploring more, because I wanted more after I figured out my location that I lived in my whole life. So
just buying all the haunted locations. All right.
Yeah.
Craziest experience you've ever had / seen during an investigation?
I always reflect when I first started off, when somebody asked me this question. I was at a theater. It was called the Riviera Theater. It was in North Tonawanda, New York. Mm-hmm. And we had the whole place to ourselves. I mean, we were doing some reenactments on the stage, trying to see if the energies would come onto the stage to bow. So we were in the audience clapping. We're like, bow left, bow, and had K2 meters on the stage. While they were doing that, I just kind of, you ever go to a location and you just want to get away and go be alone? So At the time we had up in the mezzanine, we had some equipment set up. We had a camera rolling. We had the laser, all the typical equipment that a team would set up, trying to see if we could capture anything on the camera. And I just went up to the mezzanine, and there was a baby grand piano there, and sitting there. And off to the left, there was this little organ, and I had this black mass. and I get chills thinking about it to this day. But this black mass kind of emerged from the organ and started gliding towards me. And the laser was not penetrating this thing, so that it had to have some type of mass to it. And it glided in front of me. And I just, how sometimes you just take like a breath and then you stop breathing? And I had the goosebumps up my arm, and then it glided into the projecting room. And, and this is what I was after. I mean, I was there to see this. This is what I wanted. I wanted to see this with my own eyes. And I got so scared that I ended up running down the stairs out to the middle of the street and left the building for at least, it was like a half hour, 45 minutes before I could even think about going back in the building. And then my team ran out and asked me what happened. And they're trying to film me and trying to get my reactions of what happened. And I'm like, Louis, who did a lot of photography work for our team, I'm like, get in there. I go plaster the pictures up in the balcony, and he ended up capturing a picture of this thing, and I have the picture, and it's on my Greater West New York Paranormal Society page under the evidence locker. And it's just the creepiest looking picture of this face and shadow that I've ever seen. And I don't know, as you do it more, you get more tolerant to things. And now I think if that were to happen, I would stand up and start asking questions, you know, and who are you? What, you know, and trying to get answers from it. But at that point, I had never experienced anything like that in my life, and it just scared the crap out of me, you know, even though who knows, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of like my first experience with a shadow.
What makes the Hinsdale House so incredible?
I think that what makes the Hinsdale House so incredible is the people that support it, the people that come there. I really, you know, there's no ego with it.
Mhm.
And no matter who you are, where you come from, however experienced you are, there's something there for everybody, and everybody can participate, and everybody can help with trying to figure out what's going on there. And I think that's kind of what's made it so special, is that everybody's had different experiences there, and everybody's that's gone there is maybe experiencing something different, and that all adds up to a big puzzle that we're trying to put together. So I think it's the support of the location which makes it really cool. It's, you know, you go around the country and you see the egos and you see like, oh, this person said this or blah. None of that happens there. It's just like everybody gets along. When you talk about the Hinsdale House, it's peaceful, and it's a paranormal thing. You know, you could have your story, this guy could have his story, and they talk about it, and it's like great, and then you shake hands and move on. You know, it's like really cool. That's what I like. It brings people together.
What's the location that you've been to that had the most negative energy?
Oh, there was this. It's an old German club, and it's been there through all the wars. It's in Buffalo. It's on Genesee Street. And we were in the basement, and the negative energy that I felt there, the audibles that I was hearing with my own ears, the psychics that I were with that were saying, we need to get out of here, we need to leave. You know, you just had that really dreary, eerie feeling in the basement of this building. It's still yet to be explored more. I mean, there's probably a lot of unanswered questions with this place that's been around since the turn of the century. So, I mean, it was probably the most uneasy feeling I've ever had investigating when I was there. Local place.
Mm-hmm. All right, Dan, let's talk hats. They are best worn sideways, front, or back?
Hats? Well, I guess it depends on the type of hat. You know, so if you have like a beret, most of the time I like to put those forward, but sometimes I do them backwards too. I'd say like 50-50 frontwards, backwards.
But never sideways.
I don't do the sideways thing.
I understand. What's the craziest paranormal thing that's ever happened at your own house?
In my old house?
You know, any house that you actually live in.
I mean, I haven't really, the new house that I have here, I haven't really experienced anything, but the house that I grew up in, we had a ton of stuff happening. You know, my sister told the story about how my dad we'd installed a pool out in the backyard, and he hadn't installed any electrical outside to run the filter yet, so we were running an extension cord from the pool filter to the basement of our house. And my sister had gotten out of the pool. My mom had asked her to plug the pool filter in when she got in, and my mom was on the deck. Nobody else was there. When she plugged the pool filter or the cord into the plug, she started getting electrocuted, and she couldn't let go of the plug. And she said she felt something pull her off of there. And then it's a crazy stuff like that, you know. Like I said, I never felt anything negative in that house, but weird things happened. Like my sister's stuffed animals get moved. That creepy, eerie feeling. You hear the steps moving, like somebody's walking on the steps, but nobody's there. Crayon drawings on the ceilings, things moving around that are unexplainable. So it was looking back at it, you know, man, if I only knew what I knew now, you know.
So it's coming up on Halloween. What's your favorite scary movie / TV show?
Man, I'm a sucker for like all the old like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. I was just watching that the other night. It's cool, you know, put you in the mood of Halloween, all the old classics and stuff. So I could sit and watch them if I had the time.
Gotcha.
I did get to watch some Michael Myers a couple days ago. It was pretty cool. And the Peanuts, you know, as a child, always watching that you have to watch on Apple TV now. If you don't have Apple TV, you're screwed. But at least it's still available, right? Somehow.
Yeah. So you have a lot of signs and photos behind you, Dan. What's your favorite one?
This one right here. It's special because it was like one of the first big events that I was ever invited to, with Chris Moon, Elizabeth Saint, Bill Hartley, Birch, and Brian Cano, and it was in Denver, or it was in the Denver area. So it was very meaningful to me to be able to go there and talk with people and meet people, and that's kind of like the start of my whole speaking career and going to events and stuff like that. So,
okay. We know you've been so busy, but if you had a free weekend, Dan, what would you do with it?
I like the outdoors. I like fishing. I like hiking. Outdoor stuff, probably. Go shoot my guns. Find a range,
How do you grow such a magnificent paranormal beard?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, it took a while. I did have a lot of spotchiness to it and stuff like that, but it just eventually all started coming in real good, in my 30s, and here we are today. You just got to trim it right.
Out of all the states in America, what's the most haunted state?
The most haunted state?
Ohio.
I mean, there's so many contenders. Maybe Pennsylvania?
Gotcha.
Maybe.
That's a good answer.
What's a location you've never been to but always wanted to go?
I mean, I've never been overseas, so I mean, I'd love to go to Ireland, England. I'd love to go to France and go to the catacombs. Would be one of the places I would love to go and just be able to put a recorder down and a K2 meter. So yeah, I think Europe for sure.
And number 13. Besides your senses, what's your favorite 3 pieces of paranormal equipment to use?
I usually will have a K2 meter with me, a good recorder. And I wouldn't say this probably when I first started off, but I say it now. Having a psychic with me that I trust and I believe in, it helps me. I feel like if it's somebody that you can trust in and you know that their abilities is really good, having a psychic at a location with you can really help take away some of the time of wandering the whole place, especially if it's a big place, if they can pinpoint an area or a hot spot in the location to investigate. I've seen that help wonders for me being at a location.
And the last one?
Having a person allowed?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, sure.
And what's the 3rd piece of equipment?
Recorder and a K2 meter.
Okay. My recommendation would have been to grab Jeff Fent, and during the investigation, have him whip up a fresh box.
Yeah.
Just so 3 a.m. rolls around, we can do a nice, good session with a fresh box.
Nothing like a fresh box. It's
nothing like a fresh box, ladies and gentlemen. I've been waiting over a year.
Having a Fent box and a psychic in the same room, going into a new location, getting her saying something or him saying something and turning the box on and then getting kind of the same answers is really compelling to me.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Well, that was this little quick fire questions. You had the longest session.
Did I?
That's
I
good.
really appreciated the elaboration. Yeah,
great answers.
It was good.
Get that.
Yeah,
it was really good.
Yeah. Dan, real quick, I want to thank you. You and the Hinsdale House has supported the podcast for a little while now, and just to be able to say that you support us is a huge honor, and I want to thank you. I know that you and Vicky are always working so hard, and it really means a lot. Just to be able to put that up on the screen means a lot, and I hope that what we do helps you out and helps the Hinsdale House out. We talked a lot about all the work that you've put into it, and that's those are big expenses, and I hope that we're able to help get you some more help with your Patreon page. And I don't know if anyone's noticed, I changed the ticker throughout the show so that people can get the needed information here. So please, guys, make sure to go to the Patreon page.
It's actually patreon.com, and if you, instead of putting user and all those numbers, Hinsdale House Museum, you can write in there.
Oh,
it actually,
I can update that.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier to remember.
So it's just patreon.com/
Hinsdale House Museum.
Hinsdale House
Because the goal is to eventually, which I know will happen at some point, is to put in the 2 new builds on the right side of the house, one being a museum that's going to have artifacts and history that people can use when they come there, and then the other one being a quarters for additional quarters for like a team. So there'll be like closed circuit TVs wired in there with cameras in the house, and there'll be sleeping quarters, and it'll help with the contamination process of investigating the house when you're there. So you don't have to like sit in your cars. You can actually have a base camp to go to, especially in the winter. It would be most helpful.
Definitely. I mean, it's just
high goals, man.
That's awesome, though. I mean, that's a great idea, and then to have separate sleeping quarters, and that's so great. I mean, it's so cool. I mean, it's when you have so much history, and nowadays, right here we are in 2020, and it's all about technology. It's all about the social media. People, I feel like a lot of people forget about the history that's out there, and people like you and your locations help preserve that history and allows us to tell the history. I mean, that property has so much history, and just a little bit of history, the little bit of the story that I got to tell with Ectovision, and then to be able to go back and experience more of it. And you give us that location so that we can have these experiences and do this research. It just means a lot. So, and I know it all comes at a cost, and it's more than just having people come there. And it's great that you're busy, but that's why there's a Patreon page so people can go there, and you guys get so many great gifts for the different levels of giving. So make sure you guys do that, because it really does help.
And I actually rely on the patrons. I have like Zoom meetings with them and kind of go over things that we're going to do and get their opinions, and actually allow that. It feels like a family, like I have 80 family members, extended family members that actually are part of what we're doing there. And they get to see the differences that are being made firsthand before anybody else. Pictures, videos, any improvements that are made, any little thing that's done. They get firsthand any new materials, books, anything that I have, they get first dibs at it. Just like when Nick Groff came and did his little pop-up event, Patreons had at least 12 hours to get their tickets before anybody else. And actually, they bought half of them for that event. So that was cool that they were able to. Just because they were a patron of the page, they got to investigate with Nick Groff on a pop-up event at the house, which was awesome. That was so cool to have him come up there and support the location.
Dude, that's so cool. That really did. You, I think you had mentioned in your video that you did that it's like one of those concerts, like one of those.
Yeah, remember those?
Really? Yes. I used to go to those. Man, those were huge back in the day, and I don't know if they still do this because now I'm old with the family and stuff, but I remember doing that. And when
what's the lead singer for Smashing Pumpkins' name again? Anyways, he was doing an acoustic. He went and did a small theater tour a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt like, because everybody was asking, why don't you have Nick come and do an event? Why don't you have Katrina come and do an event? And it's like, it's just not, it wasn't feasible because of the amount of people that will want to come. It's just not that big of a location, and not cost effective. And that now he's become one of my best friends, and he's like, oh, Billy Corgan, thanks, Aaron. He's like, dude, I want to do something for you. He called me up and we're like, what's going on? He's like, let's do an event there. I go, when? Next Saturday. And I had team there already. I already had it booked, and well, luckily I knew who was there, and Megan Talbert, and I called her. I'm like, how would you like to investigate with Nick for a few hours? And she's like, she was totally helped make it happen. I said, because it's your place, you've already rented it, and if you say you don't want to do this, then it is what it is. I'm not gonna push people out that are supporting the location, especially her. She's come many times, and
awesome.
They got to her and Chris got to be part of it. It was just 2 people, and they got to get free tickets to the event basically, and investigate with us. And
That's really
it ended up making over $1,000 for the house, or over that. Because all Nick's like, just get me a room and pay for my plane ticket, and you can have the rest. And he's such a humble guy, just really really cool like that. And even with the pictures, he sent me a link, and he's like, print up some pictures, and then we sold them, and he's like, you keep it. So I'm like, at least let me freaking buy you lunch. I mean, geez, like.
That's awesome.
Cool. That's really... went out for lunch with my father and my daughter, and we got to go to.
Oh, nice.
He's just a cool, nice dude, man.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Megan, I believe Brian and Megan might be joining us for our investigation at the Hinsdale House with Mike Ricksecker.
That's good. Yeah.
That's the plan. I haven't heard back yet.
Yeah, she said she was.
She said she was? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I haven't. Mike has been so busy, and I've been so I haven't really gotten to touch base with him very much. But awesome, sweet. You found out the same time I did. It's confirmed. She's definitely.
Yeah, we're gonna put some trail cams up for the woods and everything, and really focus on, I guess, not just the property but everything around there too. So I'm pumped.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be, you're in for a treat, man. You really are. And you get to meet cool people. It's going to be just us 4 in that place, so it's going to be really intimate, and it's going to be awesome. And man, Dan,
I just wanted him to pop in for the show.
I was waiting.
What's up, buddy?
People only know. So
hey, I can announce this now too. Dakota he's a really cool dude. I know he's busy and got a lot of shit going on right now with his the new episodes coming out, but I'll be on one of his episodes coming up.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. They actually came out and investigated a place that I can't disclose yet here until it's released, until they release all the dates. But
that's awesome.
It's an awesome abandoned structure.
So, yeah,
you'll get him on. Trust me, he'll come on.
Yeah, he was supposed to come on actually tonight. So it's been a roller coaster.
No, let's just tell the story correct. I was originally booked.
Yes,
I got bumped.
Well,
and now I'm back. Now I'm back on.
I mean, well, wait a minute. Okay, so
I agreed to the bumping. No,
you did. You did.
I agreed to the bumping.
Come on, and that was.
It's not like Dakota jumps on podcasts all the time, so it would have been an amazing opportunity for your show. So I recognize that, and it is what it is. It's fine. I said I would have come on and throw some shots out, but it's all
Vicky.
Good. Yeah, I think it's Vicky's fault for sure.
It's Vicky because I asked Vicky, and then Vicky's like, "Well, this day." I'm like, "But Dan's coming on that day," and she's like, "Dan will be okay with that. Dan will be okay with that. Don't worry." I'm like, "I don't want to ask him to like not come on. Like this is like a conversation. Like, no." I'm like, "Dan's a good guy." And then finally, I was like, "Okay, fine. If for anyone else, I know Dan's a good guy. I know that he'll be. If he is."
I don't get butthurt over things, man.
Then he would be.
I just want us all to succeed and do the things the best that we can do. And if it means me being on a different show, it is what it is. I would be excited to have Dakota too. He doesn't do a lot of podcasts, so it'll happen though. Vicky will make it happen for you.
I think. I mean, I think it will. It's just a matter of when at this point. And I just really appreciate you being such a good sport about all that. I mean,
it's all good.
It's just so
it's
crazy.
The things in life that make
like when all that happened, like that meme or whatever when Homer is like hiding in the bush, like that. Like I wanted to do that a couple times, and actually in that conversation between you, me, and Vicky, like I actually posted that GIF file there because I was like, I just kind of want to hide right now. Oh man, but I
It's all
really
good.
appreciate you being such a look at that hashtag. Dan's a good guy. Always Vicky's fault. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I got a compliment on this shirt. Well, guess what? This shirt, Aaron, is a Hinsdale House shirt. It's on the back here.
Yes.
Yeah, see what I can do. Get to the back. See that? Boom. I tried. My
It looked good.
Thank you. Okay, cool. So this is a really cool shirt, and it is available for purchase. And it does go towards the Hinsdale House. And it was designed by Vicky, I believe, right?
Yes.
So, yes, everything is always Vicky's fault. Too bad she's probably sleeping right now. She was actually going to come on tonight's show, too.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
But she said no, it's going to be Dan's night. So, which is cool. I'm glad it ended up this way.
Well, we should at least mention ghost cams for her, right?
Yes. We had her on previously, so everyone can kind of go back a couple months. Vicky was on. We talked about ghost cam. And I have talked to Brian and Mike Ricksecker about getting ghost cam. I plan on getting it for the Hinsdale House. She's got it at a few different locations, and it's really cool. When I was on Ectovision, if you see these cases behind me, 2 of them are filled with cameras, and we would set them up on tripods, and we would set them up.
Takes a lot of time.
It does. So she now is able to access through the interweb, the internet, and record as you investigate on HD cameras. So they're just as good as the cameras that I used with Ectovision, and except you don't have to set it up. So that means more time to investigate. And then she just sends you the files, and you get all rights to it. So you can do whatever you need with that to share your findings. It's so cool. It's only $100.
Yeah, and proceeds from that go to the house. So any location can actually do this service. So if you have a location like the jail or something like that, and you want to offer this service, you just get a hold of me or Vicky, and we can get it set up for you. And she's got 3 locations set up right now, and she's looking to expand. It's really worked well for me, and it's an additional revenue source now that I didn't have. That's helping. So and it's great for the teams that are there to be able to say they have these recordings.
Definitely.
And like the patrons, they got to get the recordings when Nick was there for free.
Yeah, that's so cool. And you're selling, actually, you have available where people can kind of see like a pre-recorded version of that investigation and all of the really cool experiments that you guys did. So that's awesome. So yes, Thomas, she's gonna yell at me now. You know what? She's gonna yell at all of us because she does watch the replays.
She definitely does, because when we're sleeping, she'll be watching these, and we'll have like 10 notes in our inbox, ready to go. And it's like first thing I do when I wake up, it's like, okay, let's get going here. Get my coffee in me, because she's rearing to go. It's already afternoon where she's at. So
right. Oh no, she had me going, and she had me fixing stuff today and doing stuff today, and but she's awesome though. I've learned a lot from her. I know she first started out when I first started talking to her was years ago when she was doing the ghost maps.
Yes.
And that was a really cool idea. But I really hope that this ghost cam, guys, if you know anybody who has a location, who has the HD cameras that can be accessed this way, it is such a cool thing. I'm telling you.
Oh, we can send them the cameras as long as they have the internet, the bandwidth to do it. We can actually send them the cameras to set up.
Awesome. So that's a new update. Awesome.
That's something that we can do. We've been able to do that.
That's really cool. I'll tell you what, setting up these, we would set up, Brian saw me setting up, my one light didn't work for the static camera that I got. I just got a new updated Zoom Q2N camera that Brian Brown helped me update with the new filter so I can see IR. But my deadlight, I left my deadlight like battery bag in the the charger bag, like I brought the light and none of the accessories because they're all
boy.
Yeah, so I wasn't able to do that.
Happens to the best of them.
Right. But luckily, I had one of the spotlights that we use with Ectovision with me, so I was able to set that up. It's just so much work. It's so much work to set up all these cameras, and the work is done for you. All you do is upload the stuff, and then you go and you watch it. I mean, it's just so much less work, and it's definitely worth it. I'm excited to take advantage of this while we're at Hinsdale House.
And it's captured a lot of cool stuff for people already. In the few months we've been doing it.
How many cameras does it run?
So at the Hinsdale House, we have 5 right now. We have one in the living room, one in the downstairs bedroom, one in the kitchen, one in the basement, and one in the master bedroom upstairs. And hopes to expand to 2 more cameras, so you'd get 7 total, because she wants one in Mary's room. Very adamant about that. One in Mary's room, and then one on the outside of the house as well.
And how much do the cameras cost?
They're around 70 between. Well, if we buy them in bulk, you can get them for about $60.
Mm-hmm. A camera?
Yeah. Well, you want decent quality 4K with a good decent microphone on them, so you can pick things up on the microphones.
Ooh, Teresa wants to know: is there a Paramount shirt? I have seen that.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I mean, you can't beat that because.
No, and the other cool thing too, like, and I'll do this often too. I'll take one of the cameras. Thomas helps me out with the cameras. We'll stream them on YouTube or on Facebook, and I actually have cameras set up at Wildwood Sanitarium. I have them set up in Ballinger, Texas, the Old Park Hotel. I have them set up. So I think 9 different locations we have available. Palmyra Museum and 2 of their locations. We have. Yeah, I mean, there's a list. I mean, and it's cool that we can actually go live with those. And that was one of my first things. It's like with the Hinsdale House, I wanted to be able to have that camera for people to watch. I wanted people that couldn't come there to be able to participate in it. And the first night I ever had that running on Paranormal Warehouse, I had the shadow figure walk through on the camera. I fell asleep on my couch.
Wow.
And I was so excited. We had like 1,000 people in there, right? And when I get these screen clicks. 900 and some people in the room watching these cameras, right? And I'm falling asleep in the house. All of a sudden, my phone starts blowing up, and I'm getting all these pictures sent to me. I'm like, "There's the Holy Grail." That's exactly what I wanted to happen, you know. And now those people are investigating while I'm sleeping, and people are watching these cameras all night when we have them running. It's cool.
Yeah, and you know,
so you've got hundreds of dollars of cameras. I mean, most of the time it's going to take at least over an hour to set up. It would take over an hour just to set everything up. And if you've got members doing it, you don't know if they're going to do it right. You don't know if there's going to be a mistake. There's no liability to the cameras because, you know, if you were setting up your own cameras, you better believe Bob, that's only been on his second investigation, is going to probably break something, not you know, do the SD cards right, all this stuff.
Trip over the wires. I mean, there's so many things that can happen with those cameras.
So what you're saying is this guarantees all the memories from the investigation. It's all the expensive equipment, but no risk, and you get full price for them, and it's all bundled up there if you wanted to stream it, or they're just going to give you all the data. I mean, this is a no-brainer, and essentially they're giving you an extra hour to investigate. So I mean, you're practically saving money. You know, because you're not going to run out there and buy all those cameras. You're basically saving money. You should definitely do it.
I think so. I see it. I mean, I'm telling you, I would set up 8 to 10 static cameras in investigations, and as soon as Vicky told me this, I'm like, holy cow, this is amazing. So I think it's great. I'm excited to take advantage of it, and I think that everyone should. Think about the trunk space. You don't even have to worry about it. I mean, man, when I went and investigated the Hinsdale House, I remember we were cooking hot dogs. We were doing all that. That's like cooler space in your trunk.
Yeah. I think whatever negative that we were going to get lashed at, now we've made up for that for sure.
I hope so. And you were great for us, so to talk about ghost cams. So
I'm the money guy, so you should. This is definitely going to save you money in the long run, and you know your priority is your members. and you need to be making sure that you're prioritizing their memories, the overall experience, and that's an extra hour there. So you definitely
it's cool. It's cool too. And anytime there's a group there, we are recording. So even if you decide after the fact that you want to get the recordings up to 10 days, I believe it is, we can pull them and send them to you.
Is there one outside?
There is one outside, yeah, right now.
Listen to this, everyone. If Sean had this when he was running, something about something was coming up behind him, and
oh yeah,
energy. When I saw that thing on the trail going up the hill, like I grabbed two big branches. I was waving above my head. I bet that was pretty fun to watch too from a distance. So, but I'll tell you what, I've done a lot of private investigations. I get contacted by a lot of people about their homes, and they show a lot of stuff from their security cameras. And some people will even go as far as setting up cameras. And I definitely do believe that a lot of good stuff get captured on the cameras in places like the Hinsdale House. And to set this up, I mean, this is just, I don't know. It's a no-brainer to me. And I'll tell you what, Brian, the money guy, he's if he sees the monetary value in it,
you see the value. Listen, people would go back in time and change history. I would go back in time just to watch Sean running from that thing, probably in the snow, closing behind him, compounds on.
It was like a quick like walk.
Yeah,
it was a quick walk. It wasn't like a
quick walk.
It was a quick walk. I wasn't like it wasn't even like
it was like one of those
it was like a power walk,
ass squeezing moments, like if you had to go to the bathroom and you're trying to hold it, and fast walking into the house.
How much is Hinsdale?
300.
300.
One of the there is which Ectovision video that we interviewed somebody, and they're like, my butt cheeks puckered or something like that. That just reminded me of that. Sorry.
So it's an extra $10 a person, or just do a free investigation prior to collect a few dues, and then just use that on the Hinsdale. It's so much worth it just to make sure that you capture all the different experiences from everyone. Even if you're not looking at it from a monetary perspective, think about your members in the group. Think about what they deserve and what you can actually capture, so they can show their friends, their family, the overall paranormal community, because this is what it's all about.
Absolutely. Right. I mean, you can break it down. If you have 5 members, $20, $20 each. It would be a no-brainer for me too, honestly, to get that many hours of footage from each camera. So you're talking, 10 hours, 50 hours of footage to review.
Brian, I believe that this message is for you. New Saturday game for you guys, Phasmophobia. I'll tell you what, I may have already mentioned that game to Brian. I don't know.
It's true. My group over there, Your Paranormal, we're Scary Game Saturdays. Real ghost hunters play real scary games. When I became the co-host of the podcast, I invited Sean out here. We played some scary games. We released the footage of these scary games. Sean is now an international star. His reactions are worldwide famous.
I mean, that's why I came on the show, honestly, Sean.
Yeah, just to see if his were we saying your butthole would pucker with a fart or something?
Those are the exact words.
Your butt cheeks puckered or whatever he said.
Yes, Holly, we are on it. We are on it. It is on the list, and we will get it done.
It's fantastic. I love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So here, real quick, guys, go and check out Your Paranormal on the YouTube. Brian puts together such great videos. He puts together videos to help people start their own teams and all of that. And then he does these Scary Game Saturdays. I tried to upload a picture, but apparently the picture is too big of a file for StreamYard, which sucks. But he puts pictures.
I have those little clippets at the beginning of the videos. We'll just go ahead and, show one or two of those on the next podcast or whatever. But, and I appreciate the shout out, guys. It's just Your Paranormal. It's one word. It's on Facebook. It's on YouTube. But most importantly, it stars Sean Gilmore over here getting a little scared. So, but we are very, very cognizant and appreciative of your time, Dan. What's the best way that we could plug you? What's the best way that we could send people to the Hinsdale, because it's such a fantastic place?
I did say my website, danielklaes.com. I've tried to make it as easy as possible to navigate the links there.
Mm-hmm.
So the Hinsdale House will be on there. The other location that I work with, Wildwood Sanitarium, will be on there. All the events that I'll be at, all the events that I'm doing, all the links are in that one spot. So you can go to danielklaes.com. I mean, I'm not hard to get a hold of. You Google me, send me a message on any of my social media platforms or anything like that. If you have questions, or I'll get in contact with you. I'll talk to you. So.
Yeah, but just threw it there in the comments. Yeah. Yep. You definitely need to go to. All it takes, ladies and gentlemen, all it takes is for you to scroll down maybe 2 or 3 inches, and you see this beautiful face on the website. This was almost intense. You have a little 4 different protect yourself during the booking, and then bam, hi, nice to meet you. I mean, this is like marketing like 301. This is an advanced course you got going on here. I want to book right now. This is a wonderful website.
Thank you.
Look at this. And the color scheme, I mean, this like cyan blue is popping.
Is that nice?
Yeah, it is really nice. Oh,
I just started a new blog too on there. So there's a blog section. I wrote one on MadCon. So when I have time, I'll be blogging on there too.
MadCon, huh? Wow. No, there's no tea, right? Is that what the kids are saying now? Tea? You're not spilling the tea, giving the drink.
No, not MadCon. MadCon.
Mad. That's funny. Oh, wow. Cool. So just funnel everything to the website. It's got the books. It's got the shows, the documentaries, everything. Patreons. That's awesome.
Everything is at the click of a button.
One link.
We talked a little bit about oh wow, where'd it go?
That beautiful color scheme.
Madison Smith. We got Madison Smith here.
Oh yeah.
Everything. It's all.
You should play her video from the news. Is it
okay?
Up there?
And do you have time to stick around for that? Or do you
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So hold on a second here. Got to go here.
Williamsville to Grand Island, covering all of Western New York. This is News 4, your local news leader.
The Hinsdale House in Cattaraugus County is the stuff of legends. It continues to attract paranormal investigators from around the world, and we're told they rarely walk away without a spooky find at your choice for Buffalo's best haunted place. As News 4's shows us, a 12-year-old is getting ready for her shot at unlocking the house's secrets, and you can join her.
Is this David? Yeah, all right, go straight. Can you say hi? That's why I taught him to say hi.
Addison Smith is not your average 12-year-old. The Davenport, Iowa preteen is gaining international attention as a paranormal investigator. She's on the cover of one of the biggest magazines for paranormal enthusiasts. She's a frequent panelist at Paracons, and she's been taking part in paranormal investigations for years.
Well, what happened is I was sick and tired of watching Barney one day, so I was like, I'm going downstairs. So I went downstairs, and guess what I found? A paranormal show. And then I just got addicted.
Of course, children being involved in paranormal investigations is controversial, even in the paranormal community. Smith says her mom was quick to support her new hobby, but it took some convincing before her dad got on board.
Close the door all the way, please. Thank you.
Dad.
Hi.
Speaking of News 4 via Skype, Smith showed us how she communicates with spirits using light-up dowsing rods, her go-to investigative tool.
Show me yes. Okay, go back. Show me no. Who's in the background?
For most of us, this would be the moment we'd run for the hills. Smith says she's not bothered.
Not really. Like, once you get to know the spirits and actually talk to them, they're not that scary.
She may change her tune after some time inside the Hinsdale House, where she is set to lead a paranormal investigation on March 20th. This place is seriously spooky. The site of an exorcism in the 1970s, according to folklore, this property has seen more than its fair share of bloodshed over the last few centuries. Daniel Klaes bought it to save it from the wrecking ball and now hosts professional investigators as a way to help pay some of the massive repair bills. Smith says he extended her an open invitation when they met, and she says she's excited to take him up on it.
I want to learn all the spirit stories and everything. Like I said, I really like history, so that's just like the big thing.
If you'd like to join the investigation at the Hinsdale House, go to our website, wivb.com, for more information. Katie Alexander, News 4.
Cool, huh?
That is awesome. They gave her a huge segment.
They did. I mean, and they replayed that in the morning. I mean, it's after that it was like, man, I wish I had another 100 tickets to sell, because it was like every mother that supported their kids in investigating wanted to bring their kids to learn from her, you know?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So it was cool. But we have a very eclectic group signed up and ready for the investigation when it does happen, with other teen investigators, local teen investigators, and I know that was funny. Get out, Dad!
Yeah.
But he supports her so much. Dave's a great guy, and he takes her to all these investigations, and often his joke is after the investigation and he's driving home, she's asleep in the car, and he always takes a picture of her and puts it up on Facebook. Like, oh, another investigation gone right, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
But she's up all night.
That is the worst, having to drive back from like a crazy long investigation. Yeah, but we should have done that. I led a college group, and there's people that just have never investigated before and all that, and we like went to like the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, and we should have had a designated person going around taking the photos of the people just completely knocked out during the. That should be like something on Reddit or something on TikTok, just like people passed out. I don't do the TikTok, but maybe you can go TikTok live on investigations and everything. I'm trying to learn the lingo.
You can.
Yeah. I can do it.
I've never TikTok live done an investigation, but I've promoted them, and I've actually made videos from the locations, and people seem to like it.
That's cool.
I mean, I've done lives with on Facebook during investigations.
I don't think there's ever been a TikTok live investigation.
I don't see it. Like, usually people on TikTok are like just like sitting in front of their camera, like eating food or something, and they're just like talking.
Mike Ricksetter's become TikTok famous.
He is, yeah.
I mean, he's a big player.
He is. There's quite a few people in the paranormal community that are getting out there on TikTok, so it's really cool. So, I mean, I have a measly little 1,000, but I jumped up. I'll tell you what, this week I went from like 400 to 1,000 in just a couple days. It just happened. So yeah, I hope that it keeps on growing. And
I wonder how many I have.
Maybe I'll get a TikTok.
Do I follow you on TikTok?
I don't know.
I got 4,842.
Look at you.
Hey. But that one trailer, the 30-second trailer for the Hinsdale that you played, it's got 11,500 views on TikTok. I mean, that's huge.
That is huge.
That's huge marketing, like that. Probably a group of people, because this is a younger crowd for the most part, seeing that. So I like to utilize any form of marketing possible, to get the word out. And that's even though I get yelled at from my daughter for being part of it, she doesn't hesitate to jump in on a video if I'm doing one.
Right. My kids, they I don't know, they're kind of funny about it too. They're like, my fans are gonna see you.
Yeah.
Like, don't tag me.
Sometimes I'm cool, sometimes I'm not. You know, like
right.
Nothing bothers me. Really, nothing really bothers me. And if I'm acting a fool, that bothers them. But if I'm the cool dad that investigates, you know, been on TV, you know, like some of their friends want to meet me, and they're probably thinking in their head, please just be normal. Please just act normal. And you know what? No.
If you can't love me at my worst, you don't get me at my best.
Exactly.
Right?
I just got to remember that they'll get it tenfold with their kids at some point. And I got it from my parents. It's my dual duty as a father to give them a hard time and embarrass them.
100%. If my kids are watching, hear that? I'm not the only one. So
that's funny.
Oh, but Dad. Then they go and they hide their faces, like that's gonna do something. No, you're encouraging me.
I super appreciate the insight into like acquiring the Hinsdale House and all the renovations and everything. That's like the business nerd in me. Like I always wanted to know like how you would just almost start from scratch or even below scratch because there's so much to do.
It's sometimes in life things feel right, even though they say that sometimes the biggest successes in your life are the biggest chances that you take. And that was a huge, I mean, I could have lost everything that I just put down on that house, and I could be paying on a piece of property, you know, and you know, it was a chance. It was a chance at trying to save a location, and I was capable of doing it. I was able to do it. Everything fell into place for me to be able to do it. So I really went out on a limb because I was wiped. I didn't know how I was going to do the roof. I didn't know how anything was going to come together. But also in life, what goes around comes around. The way that you treat people in life, I think that's a lot of what had to do with the group of people that showed up to help me. You know, when we did the day of caring, it's like Lori that owns the Wildwood Sanitarium now. She was one of those people, and that was long before she bought the Wildwood Sanitarium. And she used to come to my tours, you know, and people like that you just become friends with and, you know, just associate yourself with. You know, those could be the ones that might be the next person to help you if you need something, if you help them out at some point. So it's like, you know, what goes around comes around. The way that you treat people will come back tenfold, even though, you know, you may not feel good about things sometimes. You just got to be patient with life and not get so butthurt about things. And hopefully, you know, everything will work out. Yeah. You know, it's I don't know.
Usually does in the end, right?
Usually does.
Yeah.
It's all about perception.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And yeah, I mean, it's a good story. I'm glad that the house is the way it is. I'm glad that so many people can come and enjoy it now. And it's there. It's going to be there for a long time.
Yeah. It's beautiful. The property is beautiful. You go, I mean, it's just during the day, it's like, it's relaxing. And you go and you sit by the pond and you relax a little bit. When I was there with Ectovision, we didn't have time to do a whole lot of relaxing, but it's there. And if you it's so beautiful.
The new deck now also has a boat launch. So it has if you want to bring like your kayaks or something and go in the pond, we installed like a boat launch on there. So you can actually tie them up and use the pond like if you're there during. I mean, people when they come there, they come for the, you know, they're there for a day. So you might as well bring your fishing pole. You might as well do some other things too, and then investigate later.
Actually, one of the guys with Ectovision, he was fishing.
Did he catch anything?
I think he caught a little guy.
Little bass.
While we were filming you, he was at the pond fishing. And then, but that was Bobby.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever tried to do like an underwater EVP session? Like if you get I know there's a way to get a waterproof recorder or camera, do like
This is a gentleman. I will tell you this. For the show that we have coming out the first of the year, I brought in a guy who you probably should have on your show. His name is Lee Ehrlich. He has a book out, and he's from Florida. He's an underwater paranormal forensic diver, and he actually does underwater paranormal investigations and wrecked ships. He gets EVPs out of little air pockets and submerged ships. He does some amazing stuff. I met him at the first. He was at that first that first event that I was ever at, and we've been friends ever since. But he'll be part of that show. He actually did him and Josh came down to the forensic search of the pond, and that's about all I'll say at this point, but there's going to be some amazing findings from that. And I didn't know this. That pond is 25 foot deep in the middle. 25 foot.
That's deep.
Yeah, that is a deep. I mean, that pond's not going anywhere.
That's like a little pond. Like it looks like a little pond, but it's not.
Yeah,
so
it's just deep.
Oh, is that like a natural pond that was formed by like a glacier?
No,
or
that was built. In 1970, when the property was built, the lady that bought it, she subparceled the 100 acres out into about 10-acre plots, built ponds on all the properties, put hunting cabins on, and tried to market them to hunters. But this already had the house on it, so they built that pond there. That was always one of my theories as to what was making the land and the house tick, is that pond being dug, because Claire talks about in her book about finding bones, and that's part of the folklore of the place that we're looking at.
I had to do some research.
That is like some sort of holy land for Native Americans, and they dug into it.
A lot of what ifs, huh?
Yeah, I also know a team called Off the Trails Paranormal in Florida, but his name's Greg Bush.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he came and talked to the school and everything like 5-6 years ago, and he was talking about how that was their next venture into doing like the diving stuff and doing like capturing piece under the water, and that's crazy. That's some cool stuff.
Yeah, no, it's definitely really interesting, just the theories behind it all. Just to think that you can get an EVP from a little pocket of air. What's being held within that little air pocket that nobody, unless you're a diver, can get.
Yeah, there's energy there.
Oh yeah, I mean, just like anything else,
Wow.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Into the Abyss is his book.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, if that's not a calling, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Should have trademarked it, Sean.
The naming of the show before, I don't even want to get into that whole schmeal. That was. You wouldn't think it would be so hard to come up with the name for a podcast. It was a thing. It was a thing. Like the name before Into the Abyss, I had to change it because apparently we picked a name that was already picked for something else. So, and then Into the Abyss came, and I found like all these other things that were Into the Abyss, and then someone else did it Into the Abyss, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm not changing it again. We're just gonna stick with Into the Abyss. And then Brian came onto the show, and I was laying in bed one night. I'm like, you know what? Our Paranormal. We're gonna be done with OPP from now on.
There you go.
Yeah, we're because me.
He's Sean's been sitting on that one for 2 hours. Sean's been sitting on that joke for 2 hours. Some people just don't listen to that music, man. I'm sorry, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's two against one. I'm down with OPP.
Yeah.
We're all good.
Yeah.
It's a generation thing,
It's a generation thing.
I mean, you might talk to people and say at events and when they do karaoke and stuff and say, what did Dan sing? Dan freaking sang the whole Humpty dance. You know, like I mean, I get down with stuff like that.
The Humpty dance.
Yeah, you gotta. It's funny.
Oh
It's a great.
You
it's a
don't know
great.
the Humpty dance? You don't know the Humpty
dance?
Get on YouTube.
Hair dads, you need to go live on TikTok right now. Do the Humpty dance and.
Yeah, not Digital Underground is the name of that group.
But
what is it?
Digital Underground is the name of the group that sings the Humpty dance.
Yeah.
And the guy always wore these fake glasses with a big giant nose.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Name is Humpty. Pronounced with the
Humpty. Yo, ladies. Oh, how I like to fump thee. And all the rappers in the top 10. Please allow me to bump thee.
Yeah.
I'm stepping tall, y'all. Oh, yeah, we can do it.
Yes.
I just don't want to get to the part about Burger King and ruin the whole show. So.
That's hilarious. Yes, Brian needs schooled.
Sorry, guys.
So,
that's just...
You know how Brian came onto the show was him needing to be schooled on deadlights. He came on. He was a guest. And then we were talking about deadlights, and I was like, "Oh, you haven't heard of deadlights?" So then Josh Bender came on. We did a whole show schooling Brian on the deadlights, and now we're schooling him on some old school
OPP and Humpty Dumpty
and then Rump Shaker. You got to look up that one too. Rump Shaker.
Yes,
it's a good video.
Yes, and you know the big butts. I like big butts.
I like big butts, and I cannot lie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know that song. I mean, that's been around for a while.
Yeah, song, right?
And then you got the Fresh Prince, right?
Yeah.
Before he was you know who the Fresh Prince is, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, what was the name of his group that he had when he was just a singer? He was just a singer.
It was DJ Jazzy Jeff.
DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Yeah.
Yeah. And
the
parents just don't understand.
Yeah. All where he started from.
I'm sorry, guys. It's cool. I'm glad you're passionate about something that really made such a positive impact on you, but just didn't breach any of my radar. I'm sorry.
It's a generation gap thing.
Maybe.
It's 90s hip hop. I mean, it's what it is.
Gotta get in Salt and Pepper, TLC,
Belle Biv DeVoe,
ABC, DVD,
Criss Cross,
make you jump.
Yep.
One time, last year, my daughter missed the bus. I started singing, "I missed the bus. I'll never do it again."
I always hate that when that happens because if she misses the bus, that throws away an extra half hour of sleep that I can get.
Right.
If she misses the bus, then I have to get ready and get up, and I'm done. I lose that little bit of extra sleep because I usually stay up till 3-4 in the morning every day. It's hard for me to go to sleep, and then I'm up at 7.
Yeah.
6:37. I don't sleep very much.
Tell me about it.
And I'm not down with that.
A little bit of power napping here and there helps. You're not down with sleeping? Me neither.
No. I'm not down with losing 30 minutes.
No. So
just wait until you have your own little ones, Brian.
I already got the poodles. That's enough.
You got to get the big clock around your neck.
Flavor Flav.
Yes, Flavor Flav.
I've actually gone to Public Enemy concert and a Snoop Dogg concert.
I've seen Snoop. I went to Smoke and Grooves. It was Snoop Dogg, Outkast, George Clinton, the Funkadelic, and Cypress Hill, and some other.
Does this mean anything to you, Brian?
I think I caught the first one.
Yeah.
I'm just daydreaming about getting a giant REM pod instead of a big clock, maybe like a big REM pod or something, and then when we make a TikTok live, just go super viral, you know. But
it could
that's a whole other language.
There's a guy on TikTok that literally he played an old song, drinking some cranberry juice on a longboard, and now freaking Ocean Spray's buying them cars and stuff.
Yeah, it could happen.
Yep.
My favorite TikToker is the Angry Grandma. Have you ever seen her?
Yes.
Oh my God, she is hilarious.
Hilarious.
Oh, just to see this old lady swearing and getting pissed off. I mean, it's.
Aaron Krasmarsik. Okay, Wu-Tang. Aaron, did you go to that Wu-Tang and Rage Against the Machine show? I've known Aaron since high school. Wu-Tang and Rage Against the Machine. Oh, that was
wow. What a lineup.
Yeah. A lot of angry people. A lot of anti-government stuff going on there.
let's not go there.
It's just that show. Yeah, it's a Fleetwood Mac song. That's right.
I've seen them.
Yes.
I played that on Rock Band once.
Fleetwood Mac?
Anything of what you're saying.
Oh, very good. He doesn't know. He may have,
Right.
Could have shredded on Expert. Who knows?
Jimi Hendrix?
Possibly. I can't name you a song, but he sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's somebody, Jimmy.
Yeah.
He's been
Pink Floyd.
Yeah, they used to play with like Rascal Flatts and Jimmy Buffett.
Wait,
Right?
are you a country dude?
I do a little country.
You do country.
Yeah, there's a channel that's like the 80s, 90s, and more over here, and that's what we play at our house.
Nice. I can do country.
All right.
You know what? I really got into country music because, and the reason I did that is because I went to a festival, and it's like everybody was just drunk, and Daisy Dukes, the girls were all, man, it's just it's a great place to be, country music, and everybody has a good time, and then you just start getting into the music, and it's more, the new stuff is more rocky, like stuff that would have been played on the Edge. Back in the 90s is actually new country music, and it's pretty good stuff.
Yeah. Jason Aldean, I've kind of gotten to like Jason Aldean a little bit.
Yeah, Jason Aldean's great.
I'm a huge fan of Zach Brown Band though.
I've seen him a few times.
Yeah, it's a fun show, isn't it?
It is.
We see them every year. Well, we did until this past summer.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah.
Were there any concerts that you guys were looking forward to that you didn't get to go to this year?
Other than Zach Brown Band, that's like my big, like, my wife and I, that's like our tradition. Go see Zach Brown Band. I was supposed to take my kids to see, what's that show called? They're YouTubers. They do like sports challenges. Can't think of his name.
I don't know. I had got tickets for my wife and my daughter to see Timberlake, and that got canceled.
Yeah.
Oh, Julie wanted to go to the Taylor Swift concert in August. It was like right before August 1st, and that got canceled.
I had backstage tickets to the Black Crowes. This probably nobody you've ever heard of, but it was in the 90s, really big in the 90s. And I had second row, and I was totally pissed. I had backstage patches to see Toad the Wet Sprocket and the Bare Naked Ladies.
Nice.
And
Bare Naked Ladies, yeah, that's.
And then Billy Joel, I lost that one too.
Cool. Dude Perfect is what I was trying to think of.
Dude Perfect, yeah. I was thinking, is it Dude Perfect or Get Theory or like what were you thinking of? Yeah.
Dude Perfect guy.
That's cool.
It would have been fun. But Twins of Evil tour. I saw that. That was Twins of Evil. That's Marilyn Manson and Rob Zombie. I saw that a year or two ago.
Good stuff.
No, Brian. Rob Zombie? White Zombie?
I've seen Rob Zombie.
Thunderkiss 65.
You know what? My brother's into that.
Your brother was playing. Got me hip to some like.
Yeah. So, preface: Sean just joined me for investigation on 10/10/2020. We went to a haunted nunnery / school. Very, very cool. And he was on a team with my brother. And my brother has very, very different music than me. Completely different. Like the bluegrass and the crazy rock and like the screaming and like what's going on. I think someone's getting murdered kind of thing. And like you don't but like it's art. So I'm just like, dude, you go enjoy that. I'm glad that makes you happy. It's just
Yeah, we're gonna go over here. We're gonna jam to the good music while you listen to Maroon 5.
yeah, Maroon 5. Taylor Swift got pretty dark on that one album. Oh yeah.
My wife likes Maroon 5. I took her to see Maroon 5 a couple times, so I've seen them live.
Yeah.
That's how I got my wife to marry me, was by taking her to concerts.
Nice.
We were I forgot what, I don't know if I forgot the band or if I just don't want to say what the band was, but we were going out on
it was the Moody Blues. We know you don't have to.
And she was like, I'm depressed. This concert's sold out, and I'm not there, and I want to be there. And so I literally did a U-turn in the middle of Solon, which is a pretty busy suburb in Cleveland area. And I drove downtown and bought tickets off Scalper, first and only time I'll ever do that. But I got us floor seats to go see this group, and now we're married. So that's how I tricked her into marrying me.
Sean, I think for one of your like wedding anniversaries, you should give her a concert. Like you should sing her favorite songs from like Maroon 5 and TikTok live it.
Oh, that's a good thought.
Ooh, little roses everywhere. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, roses everywhere.
You might gain some followers. That's what I'm talking about. Fresh roses. When's your anniversary?
Yeah, really edit the video and make it like really sentimental, and then show when you sing to her. Oh my God, that would
We just hit our 13th anniversary, September 14th.
That'll rip through each other's hearts, people's hearts, when they see that.
Yes.
Just the setup of the whole thing.
We'll make it a thing for the 15 year. How about that?
14.
Well,
next year.
What's the date?
Next year, 14 is, yeah.
What's the date?
September 14th.
September 14th. And next year's going to be the 14th anniversary?
Oh my God, yeah.
What are you talking about, Sean? This is easy money. Come on, man. You need to make the 14th on the 14th special. Let's go. Come on, man. You know you're about to have already like 30,000 fucking subs on TikTok anyway, so it's gonna be a huge concert for everyone.
Huge concert.
He's gonna get that TikTok money. He gets 6 cents over here. He gets $40 every minute over here. He's gonna buy the whole house of roses.
Yeah,
roses everywhere.
TikTok. And then, honey, because of this video, before our next concert, we're going to McDonald's.
It's gonna end up costing me.
Where did we take you 14 years ago? Yeah, little Mickey D's.
May have been Coldplay.
Oh, I've seen them a couple times.
You should sing a song from every concert you've been to with her.
Oh, geez. Or at least one collaborative song put together, mishmash together from parts of each concert for 13
I really
years.
want to drag this out, though, Dan. I mean, if I'm going to tune into the live show, I want
True.
to get.
So it could be a setup. It could be like the 13 years of shows up to the final date. You have to like time it out, like go back and count how many concerts you've been to, and then each day up to that day, the 14th, for that final concert, the final charade for that 14 years. They'll all cultivate on the 14th of September, 14 years ago.
That's right here, everyone. September 14th. 14 years.
14 years on the 14th. Too bad it's not 2014. It'll be 14, 14, 14.
Could have been.
14.
But the numbers are on your favor either way.
It really worked out well for me that it was on the 14th because my birthday is also on the 14th of February. So the 14th of September is really easy for me to remember because the number 14 just really kind of sticks, so I don't forget my anniversary.
I don't either because it's the day after my birthday.
Nice.
She let me pick the wedding day.
Nice.
I'm like, all right, my birthday, wedding anniversary, boom, easy.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta if you can kind of make that kind of work out, because I'll tell you what, my wife, she would quiz me up until like I think I was like our second or third wedding anniversary year. Maybe it was after our third kid. I don't know. I'd be like, look, there's just too many dates. I'm like, I can't keep track of all these dates. She's like, when was our first date? When is our dating anniversary? When is this anniversary? What? Wait, what? What's the date of the day you proposed to me? I was like, I don't know, but it was at a Cavs game. So I rented a stretch limo, and they did the whole sports thing. That was fun. We used to get partial season tickets to go see the Cavs. So that was a big tradition of ours too. That and concerts. That was our thing. In movies. We saw a lot of movies. That was our thing when we were dating. We were so going out. Man, what do people do nowadays? They do this.
I know that if they did do what you did, at least they'd have to wear masks.
Right.
Yeah.
So
they do Zoom dates.
Yeah. Actually, the kid Kyle, earlier in the show, the kid Kyle Merriman that said hi to me, he's from Canada, and he met his future wife from Tennessee online on a Zoom thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
She's actually with him right now.
That's awesome. That's really cool. You hear stories like that. My sister met her husband through one of those dating sites. I don't know if that's kind of the same thing, but it's really kind of cool how the internet and technology has really made the world that much smaller. Oh, look at that. She tried, but he always wins. See, I'm not that good. I'm horrible.
It's reversed for her.
Oh my goodness, I'm horrible with dates and names. I'm so bad at them. If they're not like written in front of me, like forget about it. The doctor says it's because of my ADHD. I say it's just because my memory sucks. So I don't know. What are you gonna do? You learn to live with it. And there's this time, like, okay, I worked at Walmart years ago, and we would always, this is back when you had smoking rooms, we'd go in the smoking room and we'd always be like playing cards or something, smoking our cigarettes. And then one day they're like, hey, Sean, code their name tags. What's our names? I was like,
damn.
They called me out. They realized. I was like, oh no.
That's the worst. It is so hard.
Oh, I'm just gonna put my cigarette out. I'm gonna go over here now. Oh, they busted me. I was busted bad. But it's not anything like personal. It's just the way my brain just doesn't work like that. It sucks. But they busted.
And I know you have bedtime stories. I don't want to intrude on anything that you have going on tonight. What's our time frame?
Oh yeah.
We're a little over, so I'm good with ending soon.
Okay, yeah.
I'd like to go and say goodnight to my daughter. So
definitely,
yeah. I know you said that there's so much content that you already gave us, so much information on the Hinsdale and everything. I just want to be respectful for you.
Appreciate it.
Definitely, 100%. And you know what? Let's go ahead. It's 10:20. We literally went over an hour, so. Let's. This is what happens on.
I know, but when it gets good, it's hard to just say, you know.
Boy, you just start talking about my favorite bands from the '30s, and I'm just rocking and rolling, ready to ramble.
From the '30s? Wow.
Listen. I love the Temptations. We used to sing them in concert choir back in the day. So like anything back then. So like I enjoy the music. I wasn't exposed to any of the stuff that you were, and then here I am again. But like '90s country, that's my extent.
So like Miley Cyrus's dad.
I didn't really.
Billy Ray Cyrus. I tried to like make it in a way so that you would like be able to connect the dots because like isn't Miley Cyrus?
Yeah, Billy Ray. Yeah, no. I he sings on the country road song, the "Take My Horse to the Old Town Road" or whatever. Old Town Road.
Yeah, he does. That's right.
Yeah.
That's
the one song I probably could name.
Love it.
All right, guys. 10/21 on 10/21/2020. We can end on that. I'm sorry, Parafam. I just wasn't down with the music. I'm sure it's good. It's just
No, that's all right. My kids say I listen to old man music, so whatever. What are you gonna do? So,
what can you do?
Breaky Heart. That's right.
Breaky Heart.
Achy breaky heart. That was like a line dance that people did and everything. So I remember we'd be playing beer pong and doing stuff at bonfires, and then the Achy Breaky Heart would come on and people would just start dancing. I'm like, wait a minute. That was I could never. I'm a horrible dancer. That's why, like on TikTok, you guys won't see me dancing. If you do ever see me dancing, it's gonna be a joke, because me dancing is exactly that. It's a joke. So
what's the last minute things we can do to plug you, to help you, to help the Hinsdale House?
Just like I said, just my website, danielklaes.com. Everything's on there. My store, if you want to join my Patreon group, information on the Hinsdale House or Wildwood Sanitarium, Madison Smith. It's everything at the point and click. So,
okay.
Yes,
awesome.
Thank you again, Dan, for coming on. You agreed to come on, and then you got bumped, and then you came back on. It is a whole mess, and I appreciate you just being a good sport about it.
No, that's all good, man.
I'm really excited to bring Brian out to the Hinsdale House, and
get ghost camps going.
Yeah, we'll be there with Mike Ricksecker. I don't know. Have you met Mike, Brian?
Yeah, we did the big Ohio prison.
That's right. OSR.
Old Lincoln County Jail.
I've never been there, Dan.
You haven't been to Old Lincoln County Jail? Oh, okay. All right. We got to let Dan go. We're going to get you to the Old Lincoln County Jail. That's another one of my favorite locations. All right. Dan, thank you again.
All right, guys.
Everyone, go check out danielklaes.com. Thank you, Daniel. Everyone, have a great weekend. I know it's Wednesday, but we're looking at the weekend, guys, and hopefully it'll be another beautiful weekend for us to enjoy some outdoor weather before that white stuff starts coming down. All right, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Have a good one.
Everyone.
This paranormal adventure that we're all on, it connects us. This is our paranormal community. This is our paranormal podcast with your host, Sean Gilmore.
He's worked in the paranormal field for 10 years.
He's a part of 2 paranormal teams. His passion is creating para-unity.
With your host, Brian Mersall.
He's worked in the paranormal field for 7 years.
He leads his own paranormal team.
He wants to help people start their paranormal adventure or grow their existing one. This is our paranormal adventure. This is our paranormal community. This is our paranormal podcast.
It's about supporting. It's about making para-unity a real thing, because we all need to support each other within our community, and that's what the show has always been about.